So in last lecture we have discussed about the design stress strain curve for concrete and design stress strain curve for steel. What is characteristic strength of cube, then structure, then how you can apply the partial safety factor for material, and you can get the design stress value for the concrete. Same ways for mild steel and for HYSD bar also. So this way we have finished with the material and the characteristic design of the concrete part and steel part. Now today's lecture we will start with this. First is limit state method assumptions, because as I discussed earlier that we will going to use the limit state method only for the design purpose. So before starting with the design we need to do some assumption, or we need to consider some assumptions. On that basis we can go further for the design part. Then after limited depth of neutral axis axiomax by D, what is that we will see in a while. Then third is actual depth of neutral axis, what is moment of resistance, comparison, and limiting percentage of steel. So starting with this first part, that is beam. As this is your beam, cross section of beam, and for this cross section of beam, as I discussed earlier also, this is called the width of the beam. This is called the overall depth of the beam. That means the depth is from top of the section to bottom of the section is my effective depth of the section, and width is this. Right. Then the reinforcement are provided with respect to the whether the section whether that area is tension area or compression area. So as I explained earlier, that suppose this is your simply support beam, and if this simply support beam is facing some UDL load, right, uniformly distributed load, and due to this load your beam will deflect like this beam will deflect like this, and due to this deflection, this is called the sagging deflection, and due to this sagging deflection the tension will be at bottom, compression will be at top. So if you take the cross section of this beam, and if you draw that rectangle section of this beam, then this beam is having tension at the bottom, compression at the top, and the line which will divide this tension and compression is known as neutral axis line. That the line which is having zero tension, zero compression, so that line is known as neutral axis line, right? So which will divide your compression zone and tension zone. So this is nothing but a beam. Yes, I beam. Right, so this beam is basically this. So if you take cross section, so this is the cross section. Right, so here also this dotted line is showing the neutral axis line. Neutral axis line. As I explained earlier also, that steel is strong in tension. Steel is strong in tension. So we will use the tension part, we will use the steel to take care the tension, and concrete is strong in compression. So we will use, or we will consider concrete for the compression resistance towards the compression stresses. So here, as the tensions are the reinforcement, this is called the reinforcement. So if the reinforcement bars are placed like this, same as over here, right? So these are the lengthwise reinforcement bar placed at top and bottom, right? So if the main bars are provided at the bottom, so here that bars are provided at bottom. These are the 4 number of bars and having some diameter. So this you can consider that this is the tension zone, and over here is compression zone. Over here is compression zone. Right. So this is tension, this one is compression. And if you take cross section of this beam, As you can see over here, that reinforcement are provided at top side also and at bottom side also. So here this cross section is showing with top bar and bottom bar, and this is called the stirrups, right? I will show you the one video also where you can see the placement or the uh, execution of this reinforcement bar. So here the stirrups are tied with top and bottom bar. Now to design this beam, there are some assumptions. So we are looking to that assumption first, and this is available in clause number 38.1 IS 456. So this is IS 456, and here 38.6. So this is 38 limit state of Paulier flexure, and 38.1 these are the assumptions. So these all assumptions are available in this clause. The very first assumption is plane section normal to the axis remain plane after bending. Now this assumption you have seen in your bending stresses subject topic also in strength of material or SA1, where we are considering that whatever the loads are acting on the structure or on the beam, the plane of this beam will remain plane before the loading also and after the loading also. As this is the assumption, we are not claiming that all these assumptions are correct, right? So but we are assuming this so that we can go further for the analysis part on the design part, right? So that one is the first assumption. Second assumption is the maximum strain in concrete at the outermost compression fiber is taken as 0.0035 in bending. This is your MCQ question, objective question for your uh, competitive exam or GATE exam, where the maximum strain, as you are knowing that concrete is a brittle material, right? So brittle material will not stress as much as your elastic material. What is strain? Strain is a change in the length, means your particles are getting some stresses so that it can have the change in the length value or the strain value. But as concrete is not that much of elastic material, so strain is restricted to this point 0.0035. So if you remember this strain diagram, as I explained earlier, the strain diagram is your this linear kind of diagram. This way you can draw the strain diagram for the concrete, right? This is the neutral axis which will divide your zone for compression. This is the compression zone and this one is the tension zone, and you need to extend your strain diagram up to the center of your circular reinforcement bar only. So this strain diagram will extend at the center of bar only, right? So as it is mentioned that maximum strain, so maximum strain kahan pe hoga? This is called the maximum, and as soon as you are going towards the neutral axis, the intensity of compression is reducing, so that will become the zero. So the maximum strain over here is 0.0035, and that's why if you remember in the strain diagram, this is the stress strain diagram in code also, the strain value starts from 0, then the parabola curve will end at 0.002, this curve will end at 0.002. From here up to 0.0035, the the straight line will be there, and after 0.0035 the curve the line is not extending, because this is the ultimate point you are considering for the design purpose. That means before this, after this point, your concrete will fail. Concrete will not have the strain property, so it will fail. So you are restricting your concrete to have the strain value not more than 0.0035. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now next, the third assumption is the tensile strength of concrete is ignored. Right. So as I explained earlier, tensile strength of concrete is ignored. Concrete. Because we are considering concrete is strong in compression, so that will take the compression load only. Though concrete is having some tensile strength. What is tensile strength for concrete? Can anyone tell me? Right. This equation we have seen earlier. So this is the tensile strength of the concrete, 0.7 under root FCK. Right. So this way you can get the value of tensile strength of concrete, but for design purpose we are ignoring this. So all these assumptions are given in this clause. I am not, opening that uh, code right now because I have written all the assumption in my slide only. Later on you can see in your code the same assumption is available. Then next assumption is the relation between the compressive stress distribution in concrete and strain in concrete may be assumed to be rectangle, trapezoidal, parabola or any other shape which result in prediction of strength in substantial agreement with the result of test. So the meaning of this statement is that the compressive stress distribution in concrete and strain in concrete assumed to be rectangle, trapezoidal or parabola. So here we are considering that the stress distribution, if you remember the stress distribution diagram for the concrete, I'm showing you over here. Yes, this is the stress distribution diagram for the concrete. So here this is this assumption is talking about this shape, that this shape is rectangle, parabola, triangle, as far as it will give the proper design consideration for the safe design. Right. So this stress diagram, this assumption is talking about this. It is also considered that you can use instead of parabola some triangle shape of the stress diagram for the concrete like this. Instead of parabola, you can consider triangle shape also. Right, and what could be the result in the stress value that you can see. So that is the assumptions provided over here, the fourth one assumption. Then fifth assumption is for the design purpose, the compressive strength of concrete in structure shall be assumed to be 0.67 times the characteristic strength and partial safety factor 1.5 shall be applied. So here it is mentioned as I explained earlier that actual on in a laboratory you will get the characteristic strength of the concrete, you can denote as FCK as per your grade of concrete you have prepared. Then after on site, due to the variation of the property in terms of sectional property and some other atmospheric variation, so then some error in the mixture, huge cross section compared with the Q, the achievable strength on site is 0.67 FCK only, right? So that is called the characteristic curve of the design or achievable characteristic strength. And for the design purpose, we are using the design value by dividing this 0.67 FCK by 1 by partial safety factor, which will give the 0.45 FCK. So that is the meaning of this assumption. And the sixth assumption is the stress strain in the reinforcement are derived from representative stress strain curve for type of steel used. So here these two graphs are given in IS 456. I have shown you that graph also in my last lecture, that this is for mild steel bar Fe 250 and this is HYSD bar Fe 400, 450, 415, 500, 550. So this is the stress strain curve for representative stress strain curve. Why representative? Because over here also the very first is the characteristic value of your steel. Characteristic value of steel is Fy, yield strength of the steel. And to achieve the design value of steel, so design value of steel is like this, the second curve. So this Fy value divided by partial safety factor for steel. Partial safety factor for steel is 1.15. So 1 divided by 1.15, you will get 0.87. Fy is your stress value for the design stress value for the steel. Same way for HYSD bar also. Right. So this is called the representative stress strain curve. Design representative stress strain curve. Yeah. How to get this value? All this we have discussed in last lecture, so I am not repeating this part. Now coming to this diagram. Again, this is your beam diagram having tension at bottom, compression at top. Right. In actual condition, in compression also, you are going to provide the reinforcement. That part we will discuss at the time of design. But looking to this, as the more reinforcement are provided at the bottom, you can identify that this zone is the tension zone, this one is the compression zone. The strain diagram value is looking like this, like over here. This is the strain diagram for concrete and steel or the section. So maximum strain is this in concrete, as I explained earlier in the assumption part. Now look, coming to this part, as this is compression zone, so here you are going to write the compression strain. This one is tension zone, so here this is the strain value for the steel. यहाँ पे स्टील प्रोवाइड किया है तो स्ट्रेन वैल्यू फॉर स्टील. सो व्हाट इज मैक्सिमम वैल्यू ऑफ स्ट्रेन इन स्टील, तो वो कैसे मिलेगा आपको? दिस इज द वैल्यू, राइट, दिस वन इज द वैल्यू. So as I explained earlier, this is the first is the characteristic curve Fy, that divide by 1.15 करोगे, you will get the design curve. Now to get this value, strain value, what you need to do is you need to take a parallel line of this, then that will merge at this design curve, right. Design curve से left ले लो, you will get this value over here, right. 500 होगा तो कोई नीचे की वैल्यू मिलेगी आपको 500 से नीचे. इफ वी कंसिडर Fy तो हमें अभी मिलेगी 0.87 Fy with respect to Fy term only. Then take a vertical line over here. This will form the your Young modulus. Yes, Young modulus is equal to stress upon strain, right. Your stress value यहाँ पे क्या है 0.87 Fy, so 0.87 Fy over ES, ये यहाँ पे ले लेते हैं और ES को नीचे ले जाते हैं. So this will form my strain value. तो ये एक स्ट्रेन का इक्वेशन मुझे कहाँ मिला? ये पॉइंट से ये पॉइंट तक, from here to here. But I required the maximum strain value of this design curve. So this 0.02 value will be added. So this value plus 0.02. So if anyone asks that what is maximum strain in steel, then this is the maximum strain value allowed in the steel. Clear everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, so this way you can get the maximum strain. Maximum strain in concrete is this. So the sixth assumption is also saying like this. Now coming to the next part, that is limiting depth of neutral axis. Now as I explained earlier, that neutral axis is an axis which will divide your compression and tension zone. Remember one thing, in actual condition on site, you won't see this neutral axis, depth of neutral axis, or what is limiting neutral axis. This is not visible thing. These things are required to derive the reinforcement for your cross section. आपको एक्चुअल साइड पे ऐसा नहीं दिखेगा कि ये है न्यूट्रल एक्सिस, यहाँ पे मैंने जैसे बताया है, but this is a part of your design achievable design for the safer condition. So limiting depth of neutral axis का definition I have explained that it is a line which will divide your compression and tension zone. Right. Now limiting depth of neutral axis means what? It is a maximum allowable depth of neutral axis as per IS 456. As per this codal provision, code has given the limiting value that beyond this you cannot consider the depth which will divide your compression and tension zone, because ultimately this is a very important concept that this line divide your compression and tension zone. Code has given the restriction that what could be the maximum value you can consider for the compression and tension zone, not beyond that, right? So here again this is one cross section of beam, as this considered to be the tension zone, this is considered to be the compression zone, and this line joining tension and compression is my neutral axis line. Right. Now what is limiting depth of neutral axis over here? Axial you can draw, just remember one thing, axial you can draw from your top of section to depth of neutral axis. जहाँ पर भी है ये जो भी आप एक्सियल कैसे फाइंड करना है आई विल शो यू, बट दिस वे यू कैन आइडेंटिफाई द एक्सियल. व्हाट इज एक्सियल? द डिस्टेंस बिटवीन योर टॉप ऑफ द सेक्शन to the zone which will divide, or the line which will divide compression and tension. So the bottom, this part will be d minus axial, as I explained earlier. This small d is nothing but effective depth of beam. Again this small d you won't see in actual site पे आपको small d ऐसा कुछ नहीं मिलेगा, right? But the for the design we required always this small d value for the calculation. And what is this small d? Small d is overall depth minus effective cover. What is this? I will explain in detail in design part, but just remember one thing, that what is small d? Top of the section to center of your reinforcement, उतना जो डिस्टेंस होगा उसको हम स्मॉल डी बोलेंगे. व्हाट इज दिस इफेक्टिव कवर एंड ऑल दैट वी विल सी एट द टाइम ऑफ डिजाइन. So that is no role over here. That's why I am not explaining over here. Effective cover means this area. This is called the effective cover. Right. Bottom of reinforcement to bottom of your section, उसको बोलते हैं clear cover or nominal cover. So this we will see in later stage. So the remaining distance will be d minus axial, right? And this is the strain profile. This one is the strain profile. Now I want to know that what is the value of limiting depth of neutral axis. So for that what I am doing, I am just applying similar triangle rule in this strain diagram. ये strain diagram में मैं similar triangle का rule apply करती हूँ. How to apply this similar triangle rule? I'm considering that for this maximum strain in concrete 0.0035, the depth from the neutral axis is axial, right? For maximum value of strain in tension, so 0.002 plus 0.87 Fy upon Es. What is my depth value from the neutral axis? D minus axial. Right. Now if I formulate this equation and if I find the equation in terms of axial by d, this is axial by d, then I will get this equation in this manner. Yes, equation I developed axial by d. Right. Now see over here, this is depend on your grade of steel. Young modulus, that is 2 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per mm square. So that is also available. So as soon as you change your grade of the steel, your limiting depth of neutral axis will change. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So that is depend on the grade of the steel. As soon as you are changing the grade of steel, your limiting value of depth of neutral axis will change. So here this limiting value is also known as XU max, or it is also known as XU lim. You can use any of the notation, XU lim भी कर सकते हो या XU max भी कर सकते हो. Right. The physical meaning of this is that code has restrict the line which will divide your compression and tension zone. And what is application of this limiting value, well, that we will see in a 2-3 minutes in the next 2-3 slides. So this now depend on the different grade of steel. The limiting value of depth of neutral axis is given in IS 456 clause number 38.1, and in that also node. So I am opening this 38.1. So this is my page number 70, where depend on this Fi value, grade of steel value, here the limiting value of depth of neutral axis are given. Clear, everyone? Now, now, now in this equation, quickly use your calculator and put value of FIS 250, FIS 250 Newton per mm square, and Young modulus as 2 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per mm square. This two value, put it at the right side and find out XU lim by D. Let me know what is that value. What value you are getting quickly.
Point five three.
Point
5313.
0.53. Right. Now see over here in code also this 0.53 for 250 is given. Clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So this way this all values are derived, or all values are coming from this equation. ये equation में से आता है. कोड में डायरेक्ट दिया है. You won't understand how these values are coming, but these values are coming with respect to this equation. Clear, everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
sir.
Again, if you put value of 415, young modulus तो 2 into 10 raised to 5 लोगे, you will get 0.48. 500, you will get 0.46. दूसरी और कोई grade of steel होगा, then also you can find the limiting value, though it is given only 3 values in IS 456. So this is about the limiting depth of neutral axis. Now coming to actual depth of neutral axis. Actual depth of neutral axis आपको find करना है. ये कौन सा है? This is depend on the grade of the steel, right? But you require to know that what is my actual depth of neutral axis. So that actual depth of neutral axis, if you want to find, again this is the cross section, this form the compression zone, this form the tension zone. As it is limiting, that's why you are writing XU max or XU lim. This is actual depth of neutral axis, only you need to write XU. XU stands for depth of neutral axis. Limiting करोगे तो lim लिखना है या max लिखना है. Without that is actual depth. Then this will become D minus XU. This will become D minus XU. Now you need to draw strain profile. This is your strain profile. Maximum strain is 0.0035. Maximum strain in steel is this. Right. Now you need to draw stress profile. Now how to draw stress profile? As I explained, This is the stress strain curve for concrete. This one is the stress strain curve for concrete. Now what is this stress strain curve for concrete? For 0 to 0.002 strain, the stress is parabola. डिजाइन स्ट्रेस दिखना है हमें, तो स्ट्रेस इज पैराबोला. From 0.002 to 0.0035, the stress is straight line, right? And the maximum stress value over here is 0.45 FCK or 0.446 FCK. Both these are same value. How to derive this value वो हमने आगे देखा है from here, right? So this is my 0.446 FCK. Now same is my stress diagram. इसको आप mirror effect ले लो. Then over here see, this is my 0 point. This is my neutral axis. So this is my 0 point, right? And this is my zero strain. 0 strain to 0.00 strain is my parabola. Suppose this is my 0.00 strain over here. तो वहाँ तक मैंने parabola draw किया. From 0.002 to 0.0035 is my straight line. And over here the stress value is 0.45 FCK. Is it clear everyone? How to draw stress profile?
Yes.
Right, so this one is my stress profile. This way you need to draw. This is a mirror effect of your stress strain curve, right? And below the neutral axis is tension zone. So just over here there is no shape for the tension, only the straight line. So the stress at this region you can define by this. So over here this is the compression, so this arrow will show the tension, and this tension line you need to always remember center of your reinforcement, right? Now as this is your compression zone, this all is your compression zone and this is your tension zone. So what is maximum stress in tension? Maximum stress in tension क्या होगा? कितना अलाउ करते हैं हम स्ट्रेस टेंशन में? दिस इज कैरेक्टरिस्टिक. कितना अलाउ करेंगे हम डिजाइन के लिए, लिमिट स्टेट के लिए? 0.87 F5. डिजाइन वैल्यू ऑफ स्ट्रेस इज 0.87 F5. सो हियर द मैक्सिमम स्ट्रेस अलाउड इन स्टील इज 0.87 F5. क्लियर?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is maximum stress in steel. Now coming to over here, maximum stress allowed in concrete is 0.45 FCK. ठीक है, अभी देखो ये है जो स्ट्रेस डायग्राम. दिस डेज स्ट्रेस डायग्राम इज composite. Why composite? Because it is made up with the rectangle portion and parabola portion. It is made up with the rectangle and parabola. So and this is the compression zone, so compression force will be coming. So compression force will come at the compression side, right? So as this is rectangle portion, so this rectangle portion will give some forces, compression forces. We are denoting as C1. This is the parabola. Parabola portion will give the compressive force C2. compression zone है तो कितना force आएगा वो हमें find करना है, right? So this is my compression rectangle portion. This is my parabola. One is C1, one is C2. If you do C is equal to C1 plus C2, then you will get ये पूरा जो compression area है वहाँ पे कितना compression force आएगा, कितना compression force आएगा, ठीक है? और वो कहाँ पे लगेगा? एट द CG. If you are knowing that if you have composite section or unequal section, then if this is C1, this is C2, then the CG force will come at or the resultant force will come at the CG of these two different cross section. ठीक है, तो हमें क्या फाइंड करना है? We need to find out the CG value where this force will act. बराबर, तो अभी हम उसका कैलकुलेशन करेंगे that how to find this C1 force, how to find this C2 force, how to find this total C, and what will be the CG value of this. Remember, up till we are considering the stress profile only, मतलब ये भी stress है अभी, and this is your force value, compressive force value, right? अभी ये stress को force में कैसे convert करना है, that we will see in this next slide. चलो, now again the same compression, tension. This is the actual depth of neutral axis. This one is d minus xu. Now coming to this part, this is my 0.00 strain. So this will be parabola, this is rectangle, right? Now I want this C1 force, I want this C2 force. So what I am considering over here is by applying this similar triangle rule at this region, इतने region में मैं similar triangle का rule apply करती हूँ, right? So that I can find that my this 0.002 strain value is at a distance of 3/7 of xu, and the remaining distance is 4/7 xu. You can do this by yourself. This is a simple geometrical formulation I am applying over here, that at 0.0035 x1 is my depth, 0.002 xu minus x1 is my depth. तो उसके बाद आप x1 फाइंड करो, उसके बाद ये वैल्यू, यू विल गेट दिस टू डेप्थ वैल्यू फ्रॉम दिस फॉर्मुलेशन. सो वो आप अपने आप से कर लेना. नाउ दिस इज माय रेक्टेंगल पोर्शन जहाँ पे C1 फोर्स लग रहा है. नाउ रेक्टेंगल CG is at a half distance at the center. So see 3/7 का half distance is 3/14 xu. So this C1 force is acting at this point from the top, right? This is my parabola. Parabola CG is 5/8 from this, from the point. So 5/8 of this 4/7 xu. So now I have this, I have the term like a1 x1 plus a2 x2 divided by a1 plus a2. So from this I can get the x bar value, CG value, ये value मुझे मिलेगा. Now I want to find out this a1, a2. So what is a1, a2? A1, a2 is my area of this rectangle portion. A2 is my area of this rectangle portion. So how to find this area? So over here again this slide, same figure. Now I am applying that area. तो देखो कैसे एरिया मिलेगा रेक्टेंगल का. रेक्टेंगल का एरिया क्या होता है? B into D. So B is 0.45 FCK. This is 3/7 XU. ये जो है वही यहाँ पे होगा. So ये एक हो गया. Multiply by width of the section. So यहाँ पे देखो 0.45 FCK 3/7 XU into B. So this will give my compressive force C1. ये फोर्स मुझे मिला. फोर्स मुझे चाहिए किलो न्यूटन में. ठीक है, तो किलो न्यूटन में कैसे मिलेगा? देखो ये 0.45 FCK, ये स्ट्रेस मेरा न्यूटन पर mm स्क्वायर में होता है. This multiply by ये distance. This distance is having 3/7 XU. 3/7 XU. XU क्या यूनिट क्या है? डेप्थ है. तो डेप्थ का यूनिट क्या होगा? मीटर. I need to multiply one more parameter which will give the मीटर डायमेंशन, सो दैट इज विड्थ ऑफ द सेक्शन. सो मैं अगर b से मल्टीप्लाई करूँ, यूनिट ऑफ b इज मीटर, so this meter will cancel out with this mm square, so the remaining force will be Newton. So this way you can find the compressive force C1. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now coming to this parabola. Now for this parabola, again up area of parabola, so area of parabola is 2/3 of this 0.45 FCK, 0.45 FCK into this depth distance. This depth is 4/7 XU, 4/7 XU into मुझे एक पैरामीटर मल्टीप्लाई करना है, दैट पैरामीटर इज इट. जनरली क्या होता है, मुझे अगर फोर्स चाहिए तो फोर्स इज इक्वल टू स्ट्रेस इनटू एरिया, बराबर. तो स्ट्रेस हमें किसके फॉर्म में मिलता है, एफसीके के फॉर्म में स्ट्रेस मिलेगा. और एरिया क्या होता है, बी इंटू डी. तो जो ये डी है, डी इज इन टर्म्स ऑफ एक्स यू, तो हमें द रिमेनिंग डायमेंशन इज डी. ठीक है. सो इफ यू डू दिस टू C1 प्लस C2, तो आपको टोटल C फोर्स मिल जाएगा. उसके बाद आप आपका सेंटर ऑफ ग्रेविटी का इक्वेशन अप्लाई करो, you will get CG value as 0.42 XU. मतलब this x bar is 0.42 x bar XU. This is 0.42 XU, where this total compressive force is acting. Clear everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Right. So total compressive force का इक्वेशन ये याद रखना है आपको, याद भी नहीं रखना है, दिस इज अवेलेबल इन कोड, बट कोड में कैसे आया ये आपको समझना है. तो इस तरीके से यू विल गेट द कंप्रेसिव फोर्स इन कंप्रेशन 0.36 FCKB into XU at 0.42 CG distance. Right. Now next, as this is my compressive force, अभी मुझे टेंशन फोर्स भी फाइंड करना है. टेंशन फोर्स, तो टेंशन फोर्स कैसे मिलेगा, यहाँ पे तो ये स्ट्रेस है. अगेन आई हैव एक्सप्लेन दैट फोर्स के लिए क्या चाहिए आपको, स्ट्रेस इनटू एरिया चाहिए. तो यहाँ पे एरिया आपने क्या लिया, ये क्रॉस सेक्शन एरिया लिया कंप्रेशन जोन का. यहाँ पे रेक्टेंगल के लिए रेक्टेंगल लिया, पैराबोला के लिए पैराबोला लिया. तो टेंशन में क्या आएगा, टेंशन में आपने क्या प्रोवाइड किया है, टेंशन में आपने रेनफोर्समेंट प्रोवाइड किया. ठीक है. तो टेंशन फोर्स अगर फाइंड करना है तो डिज़ाइन स्ट्रेस पहले लो. तो डिज़ाइन स्ट्रेस मेरा क्या है 0.87 F5, और एरिया, एरिया कौन सा होगा, एरिया ऑफ स्टील. तो एरिया ऑफ स्टील को कैसे लिखते हैं, AST. A stands for area, ST stands for steel. So 0.87 F5 AST is area of steel. मतलब आपके टेंशन जोन में कितना एरिया ऑफ स्टील आपने प्रोवाइड किया है वो. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड द एरिया ऑफ स्टील. एंड हाउ टू फाइंड एरिया ऑफ स्टील, एरिया ऑफ स्टील इज इक्वल टू नंबर ऑफ बार्स, into diameter of one bar. ठीक है. तो अगर ये 20 mm डायामीटर का बार है और ऐसे 4 बार प्रोवाइड किए हैं यहाँ पे, तो 4 इंटू जो सेक्शन है वो कैसा है, सर्कुलर है, तो सर्कुलर का एरिया क्या होगा, π/4 डायामीटर स्क्वायर, सो 20 स्क्वायर. So this way you will get the area of steel. Clear everyone? This is called the area of steel. Number of bar and area of one bar. ठीक है. तो ये चारों मिला के एरिया आपको कुछ मिलेगा in mm square. So your tension force is 0.87 FIAST. Compression force is 0.36 FCKB into XU. Right. Now our question, हमारा ये तो रह गया, what is actual depth of neutral axis. तो to find the actual depth of neutral axis, you are considering that at neutral axis there is no tension, there is no compression. So I can write C is equal to T. At neutral axis, compression is equal to tension. Right. So put value of C 0.36 FCK BXU, tension 0.87 FI AST, Formulate this equation, xu is equal to 0.87 FIST upon 0.36 FCK into B. Now look at to this equation, comparing with the limiting value of depth of neutral axis. This equation is having area of steel also. This equation is having B value also. This is having FCK value also, compared with the limiting depth of neutral axis. And that's why this is called the actual depth of neutral axis, which vary with respect to area of steel provided and which with respect to grade of steel provided, width of the section. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Right, and if I write this equation by dividing both the side with D, both the side में D के साथ divide करती हूँ, तो my equation will not change, but only the वैल्यू चेंज नहीं होगा, सिर्फ इक्वेशन को मैंने इस तरीके से लिखा है, B into D, both the side I have divided by D, right? So if you do so, you need to open annexure G in IS 456. Yes, this is annexure G. This annexure you require always when you deal with the beam design. And see, the equation is written over here. Determine depth of neutral axis. XU by D is equal to 0.87 FIST upon 0.36 FCK B into D. यहाँ पे ये B D यह है जैसे मैंने भी किया. If you don't divide this, तो C is equal to T. तो आपको ये सिंपल ये जो इक्वेशन है वो मिलेगी. But both equation will give the same answer. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. तो कोड में सब कुछ डायरेक्ट दिया है इक्वेशन डिराइव करके, बट हाउ टू डिराइव, हाउ टू गेट दिस वैल्यू, सो दिस इज द एक्सप्लेनेशन फॉर द सेम. ठीक है. So
Yes,
Okay.
we will continue in next lecture.